James Casserly is 16 years old and from Lucan in County Dublin. And his passions in life are trains, planes and automobiles.
I'm obsessed with transport, trains, anything to do with transport except cars.
Except cars?
So
You don't like cars? Okay, so forget the automobiles part. He lives here in Lucan in County Dublin with his mom, Vicky, his stepdad, Paul, and his little brother, Tom. And like any other teenager, he likes to smell good. James, why do you have so much deodorant?
So this is if I wake up early and if I need to go somewhere like the airport. This,
You like that?
This, it's in 48 hours, so I need to use this one.
That one?
This is my phone charger.
Phone charger?
This is just if I'm going to school. This is if I'm going to school. This is my 6-year-old super drunk aftershave that I use every day.
You like? You're available for sponsorship deals?
Yeah.
Yeah.
100 million.
100 million?
Yeah.
We're shaking it there.
Yeah.
But his biggest love in life is travelling. Why do you like travelling so much? Why do you like being on buses and trains?
I think that I know I've only travelled around Ireland, but you have to travel the world 50 times over if possible. You can't stop and you can't stay in one city, so you need to keep going.
And James likes to keep going so much that he started a Twitter account which now has nearly 6,000 followers. It's called Jimbo's Accessible Adventures, where he shows people who are in a wheelchair, like he is, how they can better access public transport across Ireland. James was born with cerebral palsy and junior arthritis, which means his mobility is greatly affected. But this is something James never likes to dwell on.
I can't walk that far. I can walk a little bit, I can probably run a little bit. I've also had junior arthritis, which makes it harder to walk because my joints hurt sometimes.
It can be difficult for someone with cerebral palsy,
No,
can't it?
100%, yeah.
Do you find it tough sometimes?
I do, but I don't really like to think, oh, this is too hard. I want to think in a positive way, in a more forward-thinking way. Like, how can I do this? How can I tweak it to make it easier? How can I do this?
When James wanted to travel, he found it difficult to find out what routes on buses and trains were accessible and how to go about getting ramps booked, extra help and so on. And the more he searched online, he saw nobody was providing this information.
And I was looking through and I was just going, well, why do I not be the person to change? So I said, I'm going to travel all 32 counties of Ireland for public transport. And now I've completed 16, 17 counties, I think.
And today, he's embarking on another one of his adventures, taking the bus to Euston Station to get the train to Kildare town. And along the way, James keeps an eye on everything. How accessible the bus is, how easy it is for him to get from the footpath onto the ramp, the space he has in the bus, everything, which he'll later share online with his thousands of followers. On the train, James explains to me that at some stations you have to call a couple of hours in advance of using the train so they can get the wheelchair ramp ready. If you can't do that, well, James' imagination takes over and he suggests ramping yourself onto the train from a distance, Hollywood style.
Put a bit of speed on
You get a bit of speed and just jump up, yeah.
But they get fined for insurance, so that's not good again.
So it's probably best not to try and ramp onto the train.
Yeah.
You don't want to encourage that on television.
No, no.
You can ramp into the train. But nice try, James. In Kildare town, it's time for a quick stop for a cup of tea to relax after the journey. So James, we're here in Fire Castle in Kildare. How was the lunch?
Really nice and really accessible.
What do you check for? See, when you come into a place like this and you have your lunch and you're having a cup of tea, what do you check
Can
for?
I get around easy? It's about, do they have an accessible bathroom? How big it is it clean?
When you come to somewhere like Kildare, when you go to a town, what do you normally do? When you travel there on the train or the bus, do you do a couple of things or do you do one thing and go home?
I do, it depends how big the town is, but say for Galway, I do a couple of things. So I go to the aquarium, I go to the museum, I go to my favourite ice cream shop, Murphy's ice cream.
You're not a fan of ice cream, are you?
I am.
You are?
I love ice cream.
After the cup on tea, it's a visit to St. Bridget's Cathedral next door, where James can hardly contain his excitement at seeing the round tower. What do you think of this, James?
Wow.
You haven't seen it yet? No. Come here. Look, James, now what do you think of this?
Wow, it's very big.
It's a beautiful big round tower. Yeah, I think he's more into trains and buses than he is round towers.
I spent 3 years in history class for June 3rd and I didn't like it at all. So that's enough history for my liking.
Well, he might not be too into history, but James, being a teenager, there are some other things he's interested in, as we can exclusively reveal here on Nationwide. Now you're 16, maybe looking for a girlfriend? We were talking about this before we started doing the interview. Are you single, ready to mingle?
Yeah.
You are?
Oh yeah, Senorita.
Oh, you were saying that you'd love a girl from the Mediterranean?
Yeah.
They'd be your favourite?
Or Australia.
Or Australia? Well, there you have it. The Mediterranean or Australia. We hope they're watching on The Player. Since he started making these videos, James has been getting a huge response from all over Ireland.
People are very supportive and people are very on board and very willing to learn about accessibility and travel.
But what reaction have you got? What have they been saying to you?
They've been saying, well done. They've been asking me questions. Lots of people have been, with disabilities, have been asking me how do I get from Dublin to Sligo, or Sligo to Dublin, or Donegal to Dublin. So people have been very, very more confident.
Back in Kildare, and James is done with the round tower and on his way for a tower of ice cream. James has an infectious positive attitude and downplays the real struggles he has to endure in life, with another operation possibly on the horizon and other procedures to improve his condition. And now it's still in and out of hospital every couple of weeks?
Every second Wednesday he's in for his infusion, yeah. So that's a full day in Crumlin.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's tough, isn't it?
Yeah, but the hard work has to be done. And then one day I'm going to be in the Bahamas.
The Bahamas? Yeah. And you bring me with you?
Yeah, don't bother.
James loves bringing information about accessibility to others and overall raising the awareness of the need for good facilities and infrastructure for people in wheelchairs on public transport. But there's also a deeper message to his videos that applies to anyone, not just those in wheelchairs.
Hi everyone, hope everyone had a wonderful day today. I had a wonderful day with Colin and Patrick and my mum filming for Nationwide.
The positive attitude that you do have, James, and your ability to do things and to not focus on the disability but the ability.
Yeah.
Where do you get that from, that positive attitude?
Because I've have a few setbacks in my life. I want to use those setbacks to be driven.
Be driven.
Yeah. Hope everyone had a wonderful day and stay tuned for the next time. Bye everyone, thanks so much.
James, for anybody watching this now who is in a wheelchair, has cerebral palsy, has some sort of disability, what advice would you give them?
If I was to give them one piece of advice, it was anything's possible, there's always a way. I don't let anyone please, don't let anyone tell you that's not possible, because believe me, it is.
James, it's been great talking to you.
Thanks so much, Colin, for interviewing.
No, and thanks for being on Nationwide with us.
Thanks.
There you go.
Bye.
And don't forget to check out Jimbo's Accessible Adventures online.